This is Sports Drive.
Welcome back into Sports Drive once again. I'm your host, Preston Moore. We're going to go right back into offseason talk. I mentioned at the top of the show, we've got all sorts of teams in the offseason right now, high school, university level. None of these teams are playing right now because it's their offseason, but that doesn't mean that news has stopped rolling in. One team that has had a lot of success over the last couple years is the WT women's basketball team, and they've got some new additions coming on. Joining me now is head coach Josh Prock from WT Lady Buffs basketball. Coach, how are you doing today?
Good. Appreciate you having me on. Look forward to talking, Preston, so thanks.
Absolutely. Well, I want to just jump right into it with some of these new faces. We've got Grace Alvarez, Bella Ringenberg, Gloria Forna, and Rosemary Odabunmi coming into this team over the offseason. All of these girls are transfers coming from all over the place: UTEP, UT Arlington, Pepperdine, Central Arkansas. You know, you've got girls coming in from the transfer portal who've played college ball before and now are coming on to your Lady Buffs squad. Tell me a little bit about that and how that process has been going.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, we're looking forward to having all these young ladies. I mean, you know, you just never know as you're going in through a year, Preston, you know, whether it's going to be through the high school ranks or the transfer portal, just what your needs are, where you're going to be. You know, so when we kind of evaluated that, we did have another young lady that we signed early on, a kid named Logan Hurd, but she decided just to go to Texas A&M. So we were down one there, so we knew we needed to get her replaced, you know, going into this, and it was kind of late. So we looked at several different options and stuff like that. And so, you know, when you start looking at it, our biggest area of need we felt going in, because you lost Braylon Dollar, you lost Kamira Decker, you know, so then we had another young lady, you know, transfer out. So we needed to kind of, in our poster room, so we needed to really revamp our poster room quite a bit. We still have, obviously, Nana the Botch coming back. You have Jayla Burgess coming back. So you still have two really good post kids still in your program, but, you know, you got to have more than two, obviously. And so when we started looking at it, one of the first kids we found was Bella Ringenberg from Sanger, Texas. She's been at UT Arlington. She's a 6'2", 6'3" kid, really, really strong body kid, really, really skilled around the basket, can really defend, can really rebound. So it does a lot of the good things that we, you know, in our system with the high-low, she can do a lot of that stuff. So we were excited about her. The next kid that we found in the post room, we want to try to get some more versatility, per se. A kid that might be able to, you know, you might be able to play against defensively, can play guard, but obviously can post up a smaller kid or pull somebody out because she's quicker. And that was the Gloria Forno kid from Central Arkansas, you know, and she's originally from you know, a private high school there, Nolan Catholic, I believe, there in the Fort Worth area. And so she's just a very versatile kid. She can hit the outside shot, but really athletic. Preston can really move, can really run. So we're excited about her. And then, you know, the last kid we found Rosemary early on. You know, just didn't know where she was in her recruitment. You know, for the fans that don't know, the West Coast Conference in girls basketball is extremely. You know, you talk about the mid-major, low major, you know, high major, where are they at? The West Coast Conference in women's basketball is mid to high. It's a really good league. I mean, there's a lot of really good players that have played in that league. And, you know, Rosemary's high school team, actually, she played at Sierra Canyon. And when she was there, they actually won, I guess you're going to call it mythical or whatever, but they won a national championship. So her high school team beat Duncanville, things like that. So she's, you know, Rosemary's we kind of knew she could potentially come in and be one of those difference maker type players. We knew how good she was. So it was just a matter of, you know, recruiting her. We got her here on our visit, you know, ended up getting her committed and signed. So we were grateful for that. You know, and then to touch on the last kid that you mentioned there, Grace Alvarez kid, you know, she's kind of a combo guard for us, or more of a point guard really. And, you know, we felt like we needed to address that position going into this offseason, try to get some experience in here to, you know, to try to work on getting some of these kids off the ball more and try to find somebody that likes to distribute and things like that. And that's what Grace loves to do. She loves to distribute, and she can really, really shoot the ball, you know, and so really good with the ball in her hands, really quick and stuff like that. So she's going to come in and help us a lot. So we're looking forward to having Grace here on board. So we felt like we met all our needs. We just got to, you got to get it all together, get everybody on the same page. But, you put those kids with, like we mentioned, with, Nyland coming back, with Carly coming back, Kylie Kane, Holly Stoller, Zoe McBroom, Bree Bratt, and all the guards that you have coming back, Asia Humor. And then you obviously, like you said, you have Jayla Burgess as well, too. And you add those other post kids to that room. I mean, it's a very talented room. You just got to get everybody together.
It is a very talented room. There's a lot of excitement around a lot of these names, because you mentioned a lot of those names that are coming back had really solid seasons that I'm sure are looking to build on it. A lot of those girls will be, I'm sure, a more active part of the offense and the defense and able to get a little bit more minutes. So we're excited to see where this team goes in the upcoming season. All four of those names that we've talked about are all coming in from the transfer portal. You mentioned at the beginning of the offseason, sometimes you never really know whether it's going to come in from incoming freshmen or the transfer portal. Transfer portal seems to be growing and becoming a bigger thing every single year across all sports, I feel like. When it comes to bringing in girls who have already played college ball but elsewhere, but they already are in the not in your system, but they've been in the NCAA, they've played college ball before, it's very different from high school. Does that help you as a coach when you sit down and you have to say, okay, now I have to find a way to put together these pieces and make this into a puzzle?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think if you look at it, Preston, you look at when you're watching film, for example, and let's say you're watching a high school kid that's competing against maybe a 1A or 2A competition, but I'm also now watching this kid at Pepperdine who's competing against Gonzaga and St. Mary's and things like that, and she's contributing and producing against teams like that. And no disrespect, maybe that kid from the smaller high school is going to be really good.
Of course.
But I mean, if you needed immediate help right now, it's one of those things where you're probably going to go with that more experienced kid. And that we're in this era of the transfer portal. And so as a coach, you have to embrace it, and you got to understand it. And we're still going to always keep our focus, strictly on trying to get high school kids. And like I said, we had the kid from Idalou, she still would have came if it wasn't for just some different situations that came up, but at the end of the day, we're still focused, and we have offers right now out, for kids that are fixing to be seniors in high school, in this area and stuff. So, Preston, our first focus will still continue to be, try to get those kids in here. They're going to be here for a while. That's what we want to do. But it just happens this year. That's the way it kind of fell and where we met our needs. And, we're excited with these kids. They're going to fit in really well here in the Canyon, Amarillo area, and here, obviously, here on campus. And so they're going to be a great fit and be a great addition to what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. Well, we're certainly looking forward to this next season of Lady Buffs basketball. A lot of the returning names that you mentioned are really talented girls to be coming back onto the team. So we're looking forward to seeing how some of these new additions can fit into that system, and we're looking forward to just the results of all next season. We're ready for it to get started. Obviously, a little bit of a ways away, but we'll be ready and there day one. Coach, thank you once again for joining. Always appreciate it.
Thank you for your time, Preston. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with more Sports Drive, wrapping things up right after the break.